King Henry died while drinking chocolate milk. What the heck am I talking about? No, I'm not trying to warn you of the dangers of consuming chocolate milk. It's actually a mnemonic device used for remembering the metric system denominations. Today, I'm going to try to persuade you, along with the United States, to adopt the metric system. It's time for the U.S. to look toward the future and adopt the metric system instead of clinging stubbornly to the antiquated imperial system. Here you can see that U.S. is only one of only 3 countries that still use the imperial system, the others being Burma and Liberia, and it's basically the only developed country that's still using it. This is a mnemonic device for remembering the units. This is the world population using the metric system. You can see it's 95% and non-metric just 5%. And here you can see another visual. Those words aren't loud. It was actually created in France in 1791 to have a world. It's called the International System of Units, so it's like a world standard. So the French did something right. First, let's look at the problem. The U.S. is still sticking with the antiquated imperial system. Let's face it, like VHS tapes and mullets, the imperial system is outdated. So why is the U.S. still using it then? Well, according to www.debatedOut.com, the U.S. population is very large, which makes the switch harder than in other less populated countries. Also, people are reluctant to switch since they grew up with the imperial system and have gotten used to it. Of course, people are also used to riding horse-drawn carriages, but that didn't stop us from adopting cars as the main method of transportation. Businesses say that it would cost a lot of money for USA-made products to change to metric denominations. And finally, there's the if it ain't broke, don't fix it attitude. Why try to fix something that works just fine and people generally like? I mean, we should worry about more important stuff, right? Which leads me to my next point, why we should switch and why it is important. First of all, the metric system is much easier to use. Literally, it's so easy a caveman can do it. It only has 3 base units, meter, gram, and liter. Unlike the imperial system where you have to remember dozens of units. And everything is based on factors of 10. Deca is 10, hecto is 100, kilo is 1,000. Simple. When you convert between units, you just move the decimal place. Water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius and boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Easy. The metric system was designed with simplicity in mind from the very beginning. On the other hand, you have the imperial system, which is completely arbitrary and disorganized. The inch, for example, according to the book Dick Goddard's Weather Guide, published in 1998, the inch was the width of King Edgar's thumb. The yard was the distance from King Henry I's nose to his fingertips. The gallon was the size of Queen Anne's wine container. You get the point? Very scientific stuff. According to the website www.ts.nist.gov, 95% of the world's population currently uses the metric system. Even England, the founder of the imperial system, has switched to metric in the 1980s. I mean, think about it. Would you buy a Windows PC if you heard that Bill Gates, the founder of Windows himself, only uses Macs? It's kind of the same story here. Scientific and medical communities already use the metric system. And there's been actually a lot of accidents because of confusion between the metric and imperial measurements. For example, according to an LA Times article published on February 15, 2001, the Mars Climate Orbiter crash in 1999 cost the U.S. $297 million, all because of a mix-up. The reason for the crash? A software engineer accidentally plugged in imperial units in a program that only recognized metric units. So, oops. Using the metric system would improve our trade and communication with other countries, benefiting the economy. So as you can see, there's a lot of reasons why we should switch. So what's the solution? We agree that the metric system is better. But how can we, as individuals, convince the U.S. to switch to the metric system? Well, we can start petitions in our communities and try to get as many signatures as possible. We can send them to the U.S. Senate or the President. And hopefully they'll pay attention and have a vote on it in the future. According to an article in the Honolulu Star Bulletin on January 14, 2010, this change has to happen soon, because as the U.S. grows larger, it will become more and more difficult to switch. England and Australia, when they switched, they were they switched a few decades ago, and they were much smaller countries than the U.S. is now. It's going to be tough to organize the switch, such a large country, so and it's only going to get tougher. The change doesn't have to be immediate. Like, for example, speed limit signs would at first, for a few years, be in both metric and imperial until people get used to it. And also, industries should convert to metric measurements as they develop new products and older equipment wears out to cut conversion costs. In conclusion, it really is a no-brainer that the US should switch to the metric system. It's easier to use, everyone in the world is already using it, it would benefit the economy, and it would be a step in the right direction to make our world more unified.